Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Sanders, and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today, what I want to do is that after going to the Watch Time show, there seemed to be uh, a lot of expensive watches and not much supplies. So, today, what I wanted to do was go out and find watches that I think are a good buy and good quality for one reason or another. Now, the first one I'm going to start with is a pretty simple one. It's an Omega DeVille, 40 millimeter stainless steel. It's got a coaxial escapement. It's certified as a chronometer. Now, the list price on it is $37.50, and I found this one on Touch of Modern for $29.50. So it's a pretty good deal, really. It's about a $800 savings on that, and it's $29.50 isn't the most expensive one. The base movement on this, I think it's some kind of ETA base to it, but Tissot was owned by Swatch, and Swatch owns ETA, so you get some chronometer grade on that. Now, this next one is one that is part of the AHCI is the sort of the organization of the very best independent watchmakers. And one of the founders of this was Vincent Calabrese, and he's really an incredible watchmaker. Now, what he's done is that, like a lot of these guys, they have these watches that are way up here that we can't afford. And then they have some that are sort of what I call regular guy, more down to earth prices. Now, this particular one is called the Autica, and it's a wandering hours is what they call it. Is that you have the around the edge, you have the minutes, and then you have in a window, you have the hour hand. So this shows about 12 after 10 on this particular showing of it. Now, the base on this one and some of these other ones are ETAs. But you have such an incredible mechanism on top of that the ETA is, they just wanted a good base movement that they could use. And the 2892A2 is a good movement. Now, this one, the MSRP price, I guess, is 7,600 Swiss francs, but I found one, 4,999, $5,000 on Del Rey for one that was unworn. And I think that's a pretty good deal. In fact, I think it's a very good deal. I think Federico had a couple there for that price. So it's something. This is a good time to really explore beyond what we'll call the usual suspects for one reason or another, either because they're not available or their price has gone too high. Another one by Calabrese is called the Beauty Fuel. Now, this watch is it's a very interesting one. I like it a lot. It's a dual time watch, and on the two subdials between 9 and 3 there, you can see the one on the left is the days of the week, and the one on the right is your other time, your dual time. And then around the hands for around the main dial are simply whatever your local time. And then down below, little fan-shaped thing is your power reserve indicator. To the lower right, you can see another version of it. But I found this one brand new on Chrono 24 for $27.90. The list price, or the price MSRP, is 8,600 Swiss francs. That's directly from Calabrese. The base movement is an ETA 2892A2. This watch, that's that's a heck of a good deal, and that's new. I've already said that, haven't I? That seems to me a very, very good buy. And then having one by one of the most famous watchmakers, contemporary watchmakers around today. Now, this next one is a similar kind of watch, and this one is sort of little story behind it. The base movement is an ETA 2897 APG. APG is refers to Antoine Prezuzio. This watch, I just love this watch, and every time I plan to buy it or plan to get it, something comes up and I have another expense. But this is a very cool watch. And so I thought, well, I'll go out and see if I can find one. Well, I found one on this Japanese site, and I couldn't read it because it was in Japanese. So I asked a friend to take a look at it for me, and he said, who is Japanese and reads it, he said the whole thing was probably, it's one of those mirror sites like Hush Hush, or one of those that I've found that they often advertise things that, one, they don't have, and they never had permission by the original seller to listen. But that was this thing, so I didn't get it. But if you contact Prezuzio himself, you can get one directly from him. And there's the contact information as well as the phone, which I think is probably also a WhatsApp address. But this is a cool watch. There are different versions of it. One is a tonneau, and another is they have just a regular strap on that. Now, this next watch is one that I have mentioned before. I've talked about before, I think. And it's Parmigiani Tanda Hemispheres. Now, the thing about this particular one, the MSRP was $27,000. And it's just a lot of money for a watch. And it's on sale for about $9,000. I thought this was a heck of a good buy. I got one a number of years ago, and this is exactly the same watch with a little different dial to it. The thing I like, the horn lugs. The horn lugs, they wrap around. They look huge, but they wrap around your wrist really nicely. And this one I like with the green stitching on the black strap. I think it's very cool. And this is a place called the Watch Outlet. There were a number of really good buys on Parmigiani. Parmigiani is one of the few really excellent watch companies that you can still find some brand new watches at some really great prices. People just didn't like the style or something, but they're certainly not conforming. By the way, too, there's another version of this that instead of having a little window for the date, it has a retrograde hand date on it, and it won a grand prize for travel watch. Exactly the same watch, same movement, and everything else. So this is a real honey of a watch, I think. Okay, now it's also at Watch Outlet. I found another watch, and this is one that it sort of Mark Twain once remarked that the rumors of his passing were fairly premature. And the same thing with Volcane. Volcane is best known for having an alarm watch. At one time, they were called the President's Watch because a number of presidents had them. And they just keep on keeping on. They have their own movements. Some are base theirs. Other ones, like this one, are based on a ETA value 7753. It's a chronograph. The MSRP was $43.50, and the sale price was $3,000. I thought this is another good buy too. Volcane they've been around forever, and people keep thinking that, well, they're not going to be around much longer, and they always are. Interesting brand, great buy. Now, this is a brand, Frederick Constant. When they first came out, the one thing I didn't like about them was that they used plating, gold plating. And I just thought, what'd you do that for, for what? But their prices were really good. And so it's sort of like, well, we could, if you put an all gold watch together instead of plating it, it's going to price it way out of the range of people. They're very well made watches, really excellent ones. And this one I happen to really like. It's got two things. my my moon phase on my Christian Vander Claw has been giving me problems, and so I wouldn't mind having a little moon phase like that. And then also over at 9 o'clock, the sub-dial there is a hand date. I think this is a great watch. The MSRP is about $3,029.95, and it's on sale at Joma Shop for $1,661, which I think is just one heck of a deal on that one. Now, these next two watches are they're both Tissot watches, and Tissot is I've got a soft spot for certain Tissots, and these are two that I do. The one on the left is called the Heritage Navigator, and it's a world timer. And you know, it's just I just like the looks of it. It's just a big boy. It's about 43 millimeters, but I do like it a lot. And the price is only $995. I mean, it's under $1,000. The MSRP on it is $1,650, so it wasn't expensive to begin with. It's got ETA 2892A2, which is actually it's a 2893-3, which is a version of the 2892 as a base of it. Let me say something. A lot of times I've been, things got an ETA in it. What are they trying to do? My complaint has never been about ETA, but rather the complaint has been these companies that they'll put an ETA in it and they'll give it some phony baloney, code name that makes it sound like it was manufactured by them, but it wasn't. That's the only thing I have against ETA. Tissot is owned by Swatch, and so they can put in the best ETAs that they have or the most appropriate ones. But this, for a world timer for $995, I think is a heck of a good buy. Now, to the right is one that I've always really liked. And this is the Heritage Petite Seconde, small seconds. When this one first came out, I liked it. It has one of my favorite movements, and there's an ETA. It's called the Unitas ETA 6498-1. Now, the -1 is the one I like because it has the 2.5 hertz. That's 18,000 VPH in it. Cool, and I just love that movement. The MSRP was $995, and it's on sale. Both of these are at Joma Shop for $389. If you look at it, you may say, pretty boring. And yeah, in a way, but it's got a cool movement in it, so that counts for something. I'll be back to this in a little bit for some more comments. Now, this final watch is a Christopher Ward C63 Sealander GMT, 39 millimeters. Now, it's got a Sellita SW330 in it, -2. It's based on the ETA 2893. Okay, this watch, the MSRP on it is $950. And I thought, wow, you get a lot of watch for, $950. I've always liked Christopher Ward. They always seem to have really good buys. Now, they have their own movement, the SH21, but they're around $2,000, which isn't, a killer price. But this one is with a textile band and a dual time. It's got a little date window down at 6 o'clock. I just like it. It's just one of those things. Now, this is coming out, I think it's going to be available early November. So it's sort of available for pre-order. So again, one of those things right now where we're coming out of a pandemic is that things are slowly coming in. But I really like this one. And like I said, I generally like Christopher Ward. Now, the final thing I wanted to point out, what I did is, and didn't do a very good job, on the Petite Seconde, I sort of photoshopped on another strap. Just to give you an idea, this one looks about as plain as you can get, but you put a nice strap on it. Now, a couple different places, and these are the opposite ends of the poles of watch straps. First of all, there's a place called Panatime, and I think Panatime started with, let me see, Panerai watches and for watch rep, but then it sort of went out to all watches. And one thing that I like are the embossed leather. Now, the thing that's nice about embossed leather, you can have it looking like a gator strap if you like that style. But it's not. It's just a regular leather with the embossed, making it look like that. And so you stick one of those on a petite seconde to sew, and boy, suddenly you go from a very plain, ordinary looking watch to something really nice. Um, and anyway, that's from a company called Panatime. Right now, they have a 20% off sale on their straps for between $30 and $50. And so on most of these, you can knock off 20%. So you get a pretty good buy. Now, on the other end of the scale are Jean Rousseau, and their watch bands are much more expensive. But they also have really nice watches. The one I showing there is a orange gator band, $315. But sometimes it's worth it. I mean, sometimes you can really transform a watch. This one, for example, I put on this a Stingray band on it, and it totally transformed it. Before it had a sort of a plain gator band on it that came with it, and this one makes it into a sort of like an all-weather kind of thing. It's just, it's a great watch. I mentioned that before, but you can really change a lot with a band. So that's something else that you might think of doing. If you got a favorite watch, and it's just sort of like same old watch, put a new band on it. It's like getting a new watch. Well, listen, that's my sort of the suggestions I have. Some of these you may recognize. Didn't Bill have something like that before? And the answer is probably. But you can find some great deals. And I think now is a good time to really think about some of the independents and some of their lower end. A lot of the ones that I used to recommend, like H. Moser, I certainly would recommend one. But they have a new pricing, so a brand new one, I think you can get those for around 12 or 13, something in that neighborhood. But in looking around, I didn't find any H. Mosers under 10,000, but that's because people discovered them and things have changed. There are a few Parmigiani. The one I mentioned was a heck of a good deal. You can find them for good prices on that one too. But I've got a feeling more and more people are coming to understand, hey, those are really good watches, So anyhow, let me know what you think. Any other recommendations you might say, hey, this is a good watch, that's a pretty good buy right now, and it's available. Let me know. It's an opportunity to subscribe if you like. And till next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Side, the art and science of watch collection.